Okay, guess we're running. That's pretty hot today. It's pretty nice. Let's put this over here so it also gets a little cooling. Uh-oh. There we go. Just well, there we go. Well, there's something apparently on the camera lens. Apparently. Let's just. There we go. Let's see if that's what's better. And the mobile being cooled down. Yeah, this looks pretty good. I could actually just put a white screen to the left to actually. Do I have a white screen web page here? Oh, let's put this over here. Yep, that did a little, not too much. Of course, the screen also a little white. There we go. We get from 2 screens at the moment. I guess that's pretty good. And I should probably. It would be nice to have a pillow more to further make my back go upward. It's a pretty good stretch, you know. Anyway, doesn't give much muscles, but you know. Anyway, life is a pain, lots of pain. So I've been looking into, you know, going off grid, and I've been doing things to get off grid, so I'm not. I don't have a refrigerator anymore. I don't have a cooling, a freezer or refrigerator. I don't have anything of that nature. It can be done. It's not totally, but it can be done. I've got a grill that you can fix with pellets. You can also use natural things. So if you go a trip in the forest, you could pick up small things, and I haven't really tried that much. I haven't tried it. I do have a little forest over here, so I could take the device with me, some food with me, and just fix some of the things and try it out and make some food while at the beach, pretty much, and get some pretty nice air and all that. Maybe have a swim, but in any case, life gets more painful as time goes. Anyway, so I've been looking into this thing in regards of getting a machine that runs very low consumption and can run Windows 2000, because I want to get back to Windows 2000. It was a mistake, absolutely a mistake, to ever go along with all the bullshit. I should never have left Windows 2000, because there was people out there supporting it and trying to get it running with whatever and all that. So I guess playing computer games and all that, you would need to go beyond Windows 2000, but I don't care about games anymore, so I just want, just some coding and some, whatever, just maybe a little browsing on the internet and all that, right? So I've been looking around. I found this first device, like FX160 or something like that. It was sold with Windows 2000. Well, I looked at a YouTube video where they had a thing, and it's not because I'm going to play games on it, but I would like it to actually do some graphical things. You never know if you need something in regards of it, and apparently that didn't do good in regards to the graphical department. It also had like a 50 watts converter, so you would plug it into a 230 voltage and it would convert it, and you have a 50 watts. Of course it wouldn't use 50 watts, but when you convert energy, there's always some losses, so if I'm going to do it from the battery, you will have some loss, and you turn the converter on, and it does already have some. I don't know how big a loss, but it absolutely does have a loss. I think it's like 700 something, and it only gives 500 if you run on 230 voltage, because you have a loss. I'm not exactly sure of the numbers and all that, but you do have a loss. So I'm looking for something that is actually, because I have 12 voltage plugs There's also 5 volts, of course. I did actually see one computer run on 5 volts. I don't know about that, but that was a very, very small computer. I guess you could actually, use the USB for that. But I only have 4 USB in total, 2 USB-C and 2 USB-A, and yeah, it's kind of. I have 3 12 volts that I could use for the computer. So if I have a 12 volts device, that would be pretty good. So I further looked into then another device that I got suggested by someone. He has this website with all these thin clients. The COX, I think it's called, and there's different versions of them and all that. Also found another that actually looked very close to the COX, but seemed to be a little upgraded. It's a little, it's hard to figure out things. And the thing is, you also need to be able to get drivers for Windows 2000. But I looked at that and it didn't seem to have the. I would like to also be able to run some video, at least 720p, as we call it nowadays, instead of just the resolution. But anyway, 720p is the one I'm running on my website. I would like to be able to actually run things on my website and look at it while programming and all that. And the maximum I usually have for videos is 720p, because I don't think it's and of course the space as well. The bigger it is, the more space it takes, and yeah. Of course, there's other formats that actually can what do you call it? Fix it very, very much less. But I guess it takes more computing power, and I don't know in regards to maybe there's some chips out there that can help and all that. But we really haven't moved into these newer technologies. Apparently, there are newer technologies that are much better than MP4. I don't know if it's still called MP4, but there are technologies that is running, that it can make the files much, much lower and greater details and all that. But apparently there's some things in regards of some things in regards of not moving in that direction, apparently. So we're still on the older format, which I guess is fine if you wanna, but if you want to have more space, that would be nice with the other thing. But I guess also in regards of older units might have more difficulty with the you using more processing power, graphical power, whatever, special chip thing or whatever. But anyway, so that was the second one I looked at. Then I found the third one that actually I'm still looking at it in some sense. I haven't discounted it. It's still looking pretty good. I know Windows 2000 didn't need so much RAM, and but that device, I found this device. Well, the second device also ran 12 volts, the COX, from Wise. Well, the problem is a lot of the drivers for the Wise are apparently the website is not there in regards of. I found in regards to old website, and I found all the units and the old units in regards to drivers and all that, but I don't know, I guess Dell took it down. So that's a problem in regards of drivers. If you want to update your BIOS or something like that, that might be a problem. So that kind of an annoying thing that one would need to use some hours to look around as usual, Try to maybe call Dell or something like that and ask them, well, where do you have your drivers for the Wise? Anyway, so that was 12 volts and it was very, very low. It was like, see if I can find it. Also been looking at screens, but What's this website? Where's that website? There we go. So this is like parkytowers.me.uk, and he has like a summary of a lot of these slim things, and it's kind of overwhelming, and it's kind of, he doesn't write in the, it would have been nice to actually see the voltage of the different units, but although we have some gas, but you have the processor type, you have the speed, you have the flash that it comes with in regards to the hard drive, pretty much. You have the RAM, which it is spawned with, and then you have the type of RAM, and you have the power consumption off and running, and which of course is pretty much some of the important things that I'm looking for. It has to be low running, because going off grid and not having that much power and all that, I want to be able to at least, use it some, just a little at least, So again, my machine that I have now that I got for free is a gamer computer, and it uses like 100 to 300 watts, and of course that includes the screen, so around 100 to 300 watts, and with 2 screens on. The maximum I've been able to get it up to is 305 watts when it was really in use and all that, but anyway, which is way too much. It drains the battery in 5 hours, which is not good when it takes a good amount of time to actually charge up the battery in itself. So the CXO, or the CX0, I guess it's a 0, is running with 5 watts to 7 watts. It's 5 to 7 watts is running, and 1 watt in regards of its, off, but it will be turned off anyway after being used, because, I think there's a plug for turning things on and off, and it uses energy, if I recall, so I would automatically turn it off. But that's a very, very small unit, but 5 to 7 watts was pretty good, I think, Then the unit I was looking into was like 12 to 15 watts. That seemed to do a little, looking at the graphical things, or the, it seems like it didn't seem like it would, really do much. So, I looked at the V, whatever number, and LE, and you can get a 1.2 gigahertz, and the other one have 1 gigahertz. This one has 1.2 gigahertz if in the LE version, and you can put up to a gigabyte of RAM into it, and then you can put a hard drive thing into it as well, memory, whatever, SD storage. It has 2 watts of running without doing anything, and then in regards of being turned off, and then 12 to 15 watts in regards of being turned on. So that's still a good amount, but it's still a lot less than the device that I have. And it looked very good. It's still from Wise, with a Y, and it looked pretty good. It was from 2012 Roman time. So, and then I've been looking at some other, laptops as well. There's a German company selling laptops with Windows 2000. Looks pretty good, again with 1 gigabyte of RAM. I don't know if you can upgrade it to 2, although still 1 gigabyte seems to be a pretty good amount for Windows 2000 when you think about how little it actually needs. And I remember 192 megabyte of RAM was a pretty good amount, in the old days. And we found this IBM computer, and we got all these pieces from, free from and we upgraded the CPU and the RAMs and all that, it was a pretty good computer, and it was rock stable. It was just totally stable. You could see a blue screen sometimes, I guess, but it was very, very You know, I think it has happened, right? But it's not very often you get it with the Windows 2000. It was just rock stable, pretty much. That was the feeling you got. It nearly never broke, you know. It was a wonderful system, absolutely the best system, and no spyware, no advertising, no nonsense, no graphical bullshit. Just, you know, it was great. It was awesome. I miss it. I've missed it since I left it, you know. And it's always trying to, you know, but they make things worse and worse and worse and worse, you know. Then I was forced on XP. Then I was forced on Windows 7, you know. And it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And with all this nanny bullshit and whatever nonsense and security, you know, it's just you know, I'm missing some words here, but it's just outrageous. It's lunacy. It's absolutely stinking filth, you know. That's what it is. Anyway, so I was looking at this VLE version, and there's different versions, and you can get them with Windows 2000 as well, as far as I recall. Yep, and it looked pretty good as well. It looks pretty good as well. Still pretty high in consumption compared to, you know, compared to what I've found now. So now I'm looking at something, and I'm not sure if it can actually run Windows 2000, but if it can, it might actually be the CPU is a Celeron compared to the VIA C7. I don't know how it compares. I would think it would probably be better, but I don't know. It's a Celeron N2807, at least in regards to this. I don't know why it says ×2. Maybe it's a double CPU actually. Let me see here. I don't think it was a double CPU in regards to the LE version, or was it? There was one of the versions I looked at that had like a double version, and you could I think that was the first model I looked at. You could get two different versions of the first model, and one of them had like 2 CPUs and the other one had only 1. And Windows 2000 does do 2, but it actually says ×2, so I guess it might actually be like a double CPU, this thing. And it has 4 gigabytes of storage, but that, you know, you replace that, right? And then it has 2 gigabytes, but it actually exists in 2 different models. And he also talks about that the N03D and the N06D. And apparently the version I want is the 3290 version, it seems. Oh, it does say dual core. So the Intel Celeron N2807 is a dual core 1.6 gigahertz. The flash, according to this, is 16 gigabyte, but again, you know, that can be changed and taken out and all that. RAM is 4 gigabyte. Its max is 8 gigabyte. Doesn't really matter because Windows 2000 only does 4 gigabytes, so that's fine. No problem there. It has an Intel HD graphic, although I'm not sure which version it has. I know this version has the 3000 version, but that's the onboard. But you know, you had to have a graphic card in to run it anyway. So I was thinking about taking the graphic card out because hey, it has an onboard graphic card, right? So it should actually be able to. But maybe maybe there's a way to a plug or something like that to the motherboard that you could just then put on the maybe that was something that he took out of the computer before giving it away or something like that. That would actually be because it does say that it actually has an onboard graphic card, and I was thinking maybe I could actually take the graphic card out and actually get a lot lower in wattage, because I don't really use it much besides screens and all of that. But anyway, maybe that would be a problem. But it does a dual thing here, so that seems to be fine. Video, DVI, DVI-D, DVI-I, I don't know, much of the difference here, but network is fine. I wouldn't care if it was only 100, 100 is still fine. If you go on the internet, if you're not, moving files between others, it doesn't really matter. I don't think it will be the bottleneck for the internet connection, although I guess they're getting pretty high. So anyway, 3 USB 2 and 1 USB 3.1, and no serial, no parallel, and no PH2. Okay. Plug coax, that's in regards of the power, 5.5 millimeters / 2.1 millimeter. I'm not sure if that's the whatever, but I do wonder all these different kinds of plugs and all that. It's just we can't have a standard. No, we can't have a standard because standards are stupid apparently, right? Anyway, off 0 watts, idle 3 watts, and running 4 watts. So I guess maybe it's the idle that actually idle, when the computer is just not doing anything, but that's 3 watts, and then running 4 watts. That sounds very low, compared to, think about the other machine that has a 1.2 gigahertz and 1 gigabyte of RAM and so forward, less of things, and yet, seemingly an older model, and yet, this new version only do 4 watts apparently, according to this. So 4 watts is pretty good. And it also runs Windows Embedded Standard 7. I'm running Windows 7 here. I hate Windows 7, but apparently it does Windows 7. And only 4 watts. That's pretty good. And the question is, how good is the graphic in regards of things? That's a good question. It has 12 volts, so that would be what I want in regards of my battery. So even if it says it does 4 watts or 3 watts, that's probably checked by 230 volts, and it's probably fixing the 230 volts into 12 volts and all that, so you have some loss. So even if it actually says 4 watts, that might even be less if you go directly to 12 volts, So that might even be even better, in regards of what is written here. That will also be in regards of the other unit, if you go directly to a 12 volts and you don't go to a 230 volts down to, you don't have that loss. So it might pull, 15 watts and all that, but a lot of the energy goes to turning it to 12 volts, so, or at least a good amount, and that's a loss, right? The power consumption is low, less than 6 watts, so you do not need a particular highly rated power supply. Out of interest, I did try out an X router 9 volts 2 amps wall wart style power unit. The 32.9 apparently ran without problems. Apparently there's some slack on things where you can still run things even if the unit are not totally, the screen I found is just behind me. I have it's not exactly where it should be, but it was the only plug that fitted, and just put it in, it worked. It wouldn't have been a loss if it didn't work or if it broke, right? But it's working without any issues. So of course I could buy a thing for whatever, but I'll use what I have, right? So expansion of the 3030 or the 3290 is limited. There's little room inside the housing. So there's not much room inside of the housing. Doesn't really matter much. Well, I guess it's always nice with some room, I guess. But, as long as I can do what I need to do, then it's not really a problem. And just a hard drive of some kind, a memory, whatever, as long as it can fit into the house. In regards of the 4 gigabytes of RAM. It doesn't really need to be upgraded. I could upgrade it, I guess, to 8, but it's not really needed. As long as I'm just running Windows 2000 at least. That's the 2032 battery, 3 volts, for I guess keeping the time and things of that nature. I don't know if the BIOS actually is also, not sure, but anyway. Where did the details go? Okay, here, okay. Flash, the flash is socketed mini MSATA SSD. Note the mini bit. The flash size is 26.8 millimeters times 30 millimeters. A longer board will not fit unless you take an angle grinder / hacksaw to the heatsink. But I'm thinking you could probably get like a thing where you can plug it in and then get, turn it. I don't know, maybe not. But a quick check on eBay showed me that a small size MSATA SSD are few and far between. I did manage to find an 8 gigabyte one on offer at a reasonable price. The cheapest 16 gigabyte one turned out to be a 44-pin IDE SSD when it arrived. There were a few others from China, but they were close to twice the price of their full-length siblings. Note the SSD is not fitted in the photo right, but can be seen fitted below. So I can see a screen, I guess, below, and we have the RAM on the top of the unit. Let's see here. Let's see if I can find the mini MSATA in place. Oh, and that's very small. It's like very small. Wow, that's very small. But I'm thinking there must be something where you could put it in and then, some kind of wire thing, but maybe not. I don't know if there isn't anything of that nature, but if I could just fix something and and have one drive for Windows 2000 or something like that, I can still have a drive outside of the unit, right? A hard drive outside the unit and maybe connected to the 3.1 port in regards of the USB 3.1, which should be the fastest of the 4 ports. I could fix it to that and use the other ports to other things, right? So that would be a way to do it. And I would need to look into in regards of speed, and probably a standard hard drive would probably be more than fast enough. I'm not sure, maybe not. Yeah, any case, but still, 8 gigabyte for Windows 2000, which only like 400 megabyte in total the system was. It's 8 gigabyte, I guess, should be. It would be nice to get a little more, right? But I can see it's a very, very, very narrow. If you can't do something, and I think you can. I don't know. There must be a way where you could fix a cable and then just lay it on the other side, and you should have enough space to, if you fix the cable then turn it around, then you have the whole length of the panel. Like in regards to the RAM is on top of this unit, and then you have the lower where you have the MSATA and the wireless LAN, which is not plugged in regards to this, which I don't want. Anyway, there's a thing in the middle. I'm not sure what that is, but of course it depends if it's for something. I'm not entirely sure. It doesn't really. It says something, but I'm not sure. Maybe it's just some power if the module is needing it or whatever. I don't know. But he has fitted this very small unit, this MSATA SSD, in place. I Again, I don't even know if I can install Windows 2000 on this, but so that will be a thing, right? But they're pretty cheap, you know, so I can buy a very cheap thing, I can try it out, and if it doesn't work, then too bad, you know. The clear CMOS CN4400 link in the corner of the PCB. So that must be this one, I guess the corner of the right side, yeah. The SW7004 push button on the underneath of the PCB. I have no idea what this does. On the LT version it is labeled BIOS. Okay. So maybe it's something. Difference of note. A few observations on the earlier board, this one, compared to the later LT version. This one has a clear CMOS link, CN4400, whilst the LT version is fitted with a push button. Number 2, the heatsink has been repositioned on the LT version. It is further up the board. The WLAN MSATA connectors have been swapped, and the MSATA connector on the LT version, if it was fitted, will now accommodate a standard 51mm MSATA board. So apparently they, you know, on the newer versions, which have some other problems, but anyway, on the newer versions, apparently they put it up. But again, it might not be a problem, you know. I do wonder if they put it further up, wouldn't that be a problem with the RAM, you know? Because the RAM is at the top, you know. But maybe you can still slide in the RAM while the, who knows. But yeah, I'm still thinking that if you could get like a you know, like when you had the old, you know, old things of, if you can just do that and just fix the, and if not, then you know, who you know, it's okay, you know, I guess it's not a deal breaker, it seems. Again, if you just have your hard drive outside of the running machine, that will be fine. Let's see if we can find the information again in regards to the RAM. The RAM, no, that's fine. I don't know in regards of how, you know, the RAM is PC3. I do wonder if I actually do have a module, or maybe it's RAM. Maybe that's actually for the older one. I'm not sure. I do have some RAM of that size, but I'm not sure which one of it. And it's 16 gigabytes, so it might not. You know, it says maximum 8 gigabyte. So even if it fits, it might not work anyway. Although if it just took whatever it could, it would, you know, 8 gigabyte, it would be fine. You know. The cheapest 16 blah blah blah. Okay, show the small size MC. What do you call it? Note the mini bit. The flash size is a longer board will not fit. Okay, so let's see if we can maybe search on MSTA SSD. Small one. Okay, let's see here. eBay. Oh, whatever. Take some research and some, you know, some people like looking around and all that. I guess I'm just sick and tired of it. Here we have, I guess, a standard size, and that probably will be too big. That's 512 gigabyte at the maximum. And that seems to be the same plug. Let's see here. Seems to be the plug that seems to be fitting, but again, that would be too big. SSD small. I guess apparently it's a very, very hard. Yeah, well, these small things are still getting too big, I think. But again, if one can just find a cable, you know. And you see MSATA cable. Let's see on cable, if I can spell that. You would just need a little, you know, very, very small cable to just turn it around, you know. And maybe that doesn't exist, you know. I don't know. Maybe that's too much of a No, here we have a USB, so that would not be. Well, there's some cable here, but it doesn't really. It goes still into a print. It would need to be something where you can. Well, here we have like but you have still a long one, and then it gets into it would be a very short one. It would need to short cable thing module. Here we have like a thing where it goes to another. It's like MSATA SSD to mini PCI interface extension cable for laptop. But it's still, I think it's still too big to actually be in the computer because it's so small of the thing. So I guess that will be a problem. I don't know. I can't even find the. Okay, here we have some extensions, but again, I think they probably are still too big for it to actually. Oh wait! Here we might have something. A very small extension, 51 milliliter or millimeter. I think this is something of the nature I'm looking for. It's still 51, it's still 5 centimeters. That sounds like still too big. Oh, here we have something. I think we have something here maybe. Mini PCI Express MSATA PCIe SSD card extender male to female. That actually seems to be more like it. It goes, it goes just in, and then you have a print. That might be the. Here we have something else with just a little print, and it has to be small enough to fit. But if if you can just find a little module for that to extend it, then you can just fix it in, and you should have enough room to fix it. I think it would be possible. So, but yeah, here are some extensions. I'm not sure if these are the right extensions. I think they are, but yeah, some of them wouldn't work, I think, but some of them would. And you could just, fix it in another place. Anyway, I guess I will, that's something for the future, I guess, when I find, I first need to get the unit, and then from there on I need to work on it. Yeah, it looks pretty good, should be a solution. Well, I think I probably already have found the solution, hopefully. But anyway, I can see his problem in regards of the, it's very, very slim. There's not much room. So here we have like 5 centimeters in total. I don't know if that's possible. Here we see it in practice. But even if the, even if it you could actually cut it, but of course I don't think it actually has any. I don't think it has any, or slice it or something like that. It seems to be a lot longer than it needs to be. You have the first where you can put screws in, and then you have the second one. But if you only have to the first two, you should, in some way, if you can break it just with if you can take something and slice it and just break it off or something like that, then you will have a very short module. Okay, maybe not that. Maybe the other one. Okay. Let's see here. Well, it only has to the first one, so I guess it should be the smallest. You put it in, and you have the cable running over to it. I think this is probably perfect. Yeah, something of that nature. Well, I don't know. Well, see, this one also, you just plug it in. It doesn't even have. Well, it does. Yeah, actually, it does have screws for it as well. This looks very good as well. Why they just have this cable thing. No, it looks pretty good as well. That could probably also do it. And then just fix it in, and maybe fix it with some, tape of some kind somewhere in the machine, that can handle a little heat. And there you go. Anyway, let's see, yeah. So, oh, it's hot. It's really hot. Let's see if we can find the website again. That's a good problem. Apparently, there we go. So let's see. The flash is a socketed mini MSATA SSD node. The mini bit. The flash size is 26.8 times 30. That's too big then, in regards to some of the others. I don't know. Is there even screws to the small one? Yeah, that does seem to be screws to the first. These are mini. Okay. Yeah, I would need to test these out. Again, they seem to have to the first holes to the mini thing, but oh here, male to female MSHTA mini PCI Express PC mini, so it goes to mini, although it doesn't really matter in regards to the other side. It actually would not have a problem if it actually was bigger than mini, but I guess you can probably put whatever you want on it, you know, and stick it in there. It might not be, but as long as it works, you know. But yeah, so you should be able to just put this one in it. A mini. Yeah, mini, plug it in there, and then you have the cable, and then you have the mini for the other one, and there you go. Yeah. Hey, if it works, it works, right? If it doesn't, it doesn't, right? But yeah, it does really. The cable here, it doesn't really seem, you know, professional. But hey, if it works, it's $10, you know, as long as it's not frying the drive. So, and we have another version here. Mini PCI Wi-Fi wireless network card. That probably is not what I want. It does say card MSATA SSD SSD mini PC. Well, I guess maybe it's the same thing they use. But yeah, you connect it to the thing, and you have this thing, and then you have it's a little longer, this one. So it's 10 centimeters in regard to the length, and that should be more than enough. Actually, might be a little too much, who knows? But you know, one would need to see in regard to fixing it. So yeah, that seems to be possible anyway. That seems to be something. Okay. So that solves that issue pretty much. Not sure if it comes with anything, because some models it does seem that they have fixed something in it. I'm not sure if that it actually came with anything in the standard thing. You know, there's different models and all that, but yeah. So, well, in regards to the mini thing, well, if I can't get a mini thing, I can get something else and then just fix this. But yeah, mini. Let's try to just search on this mini MCSTA, whatever, eBay. There's a lot of weird things that, you know, I haven't followed along, and you quickly get behind. There we have state drive, but it's not in a mini. I don't see any mini. Do we have a mini? Nope. You have standard size of the smaller ones, I guess. Now here we have, it says mini SSD, but I don't think it's actually mini. Not as mini as it should be in regards of. Looks a little bigger than the mini. Anyway, mini. Don't see anything that seems as oh, here we go. That's one. I found one. 26 millimeters times 30 millimeters. So the length of it is 26 millimeters. How big is this? It says brand new. It's brand new. But here we go. Here is the size. That was one link at least for what we're looking for. We can close that down. Let's see here. Half MSTA, whatever. It doesn't say how big it is. You know, it's like, are you kidding me? Let's see here. We're not. Oh, here we go. Capacity 128 gigabytes to 512. So that sounds pretty good. You know, that doesn't seem to be a big problem then. If you can get 512 gigabyte, that sounds pretty good. You know. Yeah. That seems like to be a good amount of storage. So how much does it cost? Here we go. You can choose the size. It's not that bad, you know. Yeah, it's 512 gigabyte, you know. 848 Danish kroners. It's not bad, you know. It could be a lot worse, you know. I see 128, 251. It's not bad either. The question is, how much do I need, right? Well, I guess it's always nice to first check up if things works, but you know, 512 gigabyte might be a little too much, but it's apparently possible, you know, to fix that. You know, here we go. And that was at least one link. I guess I'll just save that link. It was a little hard to find. It takes some time to dig around. We see the standard sources of these. So here we have another one. King spec is probably the same. But yeah, so it might not even be needed in regards of this thing, you know, because 512 gigabytes seems to be more than enough for. Here we have another King spec mini SSD 556 SATA3 and all that. So that pretty much, of course you can get them larger if you get them with more, or get them bigger, right? But do I need that, right? That's the question, right? Well, I guess if you could get but they're probably not in the size of, I don't know if you can get a really, really, really big one. I could copy everything over that I have, I guess, onto it. Oh my, just. Here we have another one, mini PCR thing here. But yeah, they are not that easy to, but they are there. And you can get them at least up to 512. Maybe you can actually get them even further. Here we have 1,689. So maybe, oh, that's 1 terabyte. Oh, okay, you can get it with 1 terabyte here. I guess the problem is in regards of, you know, using it for other devices if it's smaller, because they usually have it seems like they have for either. You know, it's typical with all these different kinds of standards, right? So you need to have multiple. It's just stupid, you know. Can't keep to a standard. Here's I guess this seems to be where you can just put whatever golden pin. It looks like, you know, where you can have whatever in it, so you would probably be able to just plug it into the plug and then just whatever size you have and it will fit. But it is kind of, you know, all these nonsense things, you know, just, oh well. Here we go again. We have a 512 SSD in that small size. Here we have a 24 gigabyte in regards to that size, a very small one. Here we have well, that's okay, it's connecting it to, so that's not what we're looking for. But yeah, so we have something at least we can put in it, or fix a module to put the module into, So that's of course a question. Which solution should we go by? It was like something lower power consumption. Let's push that and see what that is. Okay, we're pretty much through the first couple of pages. Oh, so if that can run Windows 2000, that would be awesome. Well, I think that would be a pretty powerful Windows 2000 system. And I think it can handle 2 screens, which I found these low resource screens, but again, I'm not sure if they actually run in regards to 12 volts, so I have to look into that as well. But if everything goes into, then you could actually get very low in power consumption. Oh, here we go. Here we have another one. At least that's the same King Spec. It seems King Spec made a lot of these products. Wow, it's hot. I don't know if I take the Danish portal in regards of if I can find any of these. But yeah, it's not impossible. Here's another link for one of these. And I did find one in 1 terabyte, so kind of expensive, but it's not like overly, it's not impossible and expensive, but it's not cheap, Oh, it's hot, it's hot, it's hot, it's hot. Now we have another one. That's a picture of both. Yeah, but 1 terabyte, I do have around 2 terabyte of information. Yeah. And of course it's going directly into the computer when you put it into, instead of using a USB and all that. I guess everything should be pretty quick on a Windows 2000 system if it can be installed on it. I don't know how they have, apparently it seems like, in the past you needed to have specific drivers for installing things on memory disk, but it seems like they apparently have gotten over that issue. It's one of these things that you needed to upgrade, because if you wanted to run on a memory disk, you need, that was the reason why I ended up needing to upgrade to Windows 7. Of course, you couldn't install X, or at least you needed to figure out, at least there were some problems with it. I never got to solve it. Well, we have another one, 16 gigabytes. We have another one, 64 gigabytes, and different sizes as well again. So yeah, they are, you can get them. Okay, let's see what we have. The first one, you have 3 different 128 gigabytes, 256 gigabytes, and 512 gigabytes. It's the biggest one, and they're very, very small. I know there's a video here. I could look and see if that's. It's hot. Oh, it's really hot. Maybe I should open the door again, but yeah, it's really, really, really hot. Okay, is it going to come around, or and just loading? Anyway, this also has like probably some of the same. Mini PCI half SATA SDA 253 or 256 gigabyte SATA 3 module. You only have one specific, one to choose from in regards to 256. It's not, it's possible to pay for. It's not. So here we have the same 256, although it looks like it's the same, pretty much the same, and the price is nearly the same. No? Oh, wait. No, the price apparently. No, yeah, compared to this, it's the same. Okay. Let's close that off. If you buy more, you can get them cheaper and all that. But again, here we have the same. That's even cheaper in regards of Del Vostro 5, used for Del Vostro 54604, 5470, 5439, and so I guess, yeah, some other versions of Dell as well use this apparently. Oh, here we have other things of these kinds down below here in regards of king spec, but what about the first one? Was that was also king spec? So you have 128, 256, and 512 in regards to king spec on the first page. Apparently this video is not starting up still. So here we have king spec again, one module. Have some Japanese on it. King spec here, you can choose the capacity. It actually says 1 terabyte SSD king spec, but you don't have 1 terabyte here. And these are much more expensive. You have 128, 200. Yeah, this gets really expensive with the last one. Very, very expensive, and it should be the same. But it actually says 1 terabyte. I don't see any 1 terabyte, so that seems to be false declaration on that. Just say 512. There's another we can push on here, but still no 1 terabyte. Only 512, which of course is fine, but it's kind of a good amount more expensive. It's like the double the amount of the other place that you could buy them. So that seems to be not the place to buy them. Here we have like a where you can put multiple different things into it. You know, if you have the 223C, 2242 and 2260, I guess, and 2280, and that seems to be the sizes of the different, and you have different kinds of, so if you didn't have, I guess you can just put it in and put whatever size you have. I guess that's pretty smart if you have something you need to have fitting, right? But I don't know in regards to the screws. Where is it? Can it screw itself onto the? I guess it can screw itself onto. Just weird that. Maybe you put them down and where you want to have them placed or something like that, and then can be able to screw it on. Let's see here. We have a 512 king spec again. So these are the king spec. So king spec makes these apparently, and we have oh, that seems to be the same, you know, around 800 kronos. Seems to be pretty good. That seems to be what we pretty much had at the other place. Here we have a 24 gigabyte. That's of course well, I guess you could, you know, if you didn't need too much, 24 gigabytes. You know, I guess it's okay, right? If you don't need any more, a little unit of that kind. Oh, how much was it? Reopen last tab. Let's see how much it was. 148 kronos. Yeah, it's not that bad. Here we have 500 and yeah, that's around 800 kronos again. Actually, a little cheaper than the other place for 512 gigabyte. But again, you know, if you took the other one and, you know, the module, and, you know, you probably could get bigger with, you know, cheaper. I don't know, but I would think that that's probably the efficient battery life management after long-term use. Also always efficient support, dynamic power management, energy saving for the computer. Oh, it's hard. But these are standard sizes, so but you can get them up to 256 gigabyte. Still not that expensive, standard sizes it seems. I do have one in my laptop, I guess, one of these standard sizes. Here we have a 256 of the King spec again. So King spec are making these apparently. Again, it's King spec, King spec, King spec. Well, what do we have here? Here we have mini. Doesn't really say who's making them. Chips from China. You can get 256 gigabyte and 128, but it's just pretty much a no-name module, it seems. Doesn't really say much, and the price is not really, it's not much different than the other. So I think I probably would go with King spec. And you still have the at least 512. If you need the question is, do I need 512 gigabyte? You can always use storage, of course, right? But that would be things of the nature that needs to be quick. I guess programs, portable programs and all that would be fine, I guess, to have a drive on that. Here we have 128. That's a Kingstone. We don't want Kingstone. They're pretty much, they didn't want us help me in regards of support last time, but 128 gigabyte in regards of Kingstone. Apparently it's used. That's also pretty expensive for a used unit, I guess. But anyway, here we have select capacity. Here we have 1 terabyte. That's pretty expensive, but oh, it's not half. Okay, so we have these. They call them half apparently. Here we have. Well, this is King spec again. We have the standard, up to 1 terabyte, and okay, that's 1,361 crowns, and then you have the half, and then you have a 512 gigabyte for pretty much the same price, although so it's cheaper at the other place, but yeah, it does seem to be, you get the double amount for the same price with the standard compared to the. So again, if one fixed the little thing and all that, one could just fix a standard thing into it, or maybe a larger one that might be less expensive, who knows. But then again, of course, if you ever have where they put it, it doesn't fit, it's just, it fits pretty good, right? It's not like it's, oh yeah, we have 512. Doesn't say what it is, does it? Nope, it's a no name. It's still, oh, that's a good amount of more expensive than the other one, even if it's no name. That's 550 crowns more on this. So anyway, so I think we pretty much found the two options that we're going to look into, if anything. Oh, here we maybe 3 options. This one is also really interesting, but yeah, this, I don't know. Oh well, I guess we'll have to go through a good amount of them. But yeah, so there's options at least. Would be, again, you could just fix these things and that probably would do the job, but I guess one could try to see if. Here we have the color and we have the different sizes: 8 centimeters, 100 centimeters. Oh, that's the size of the cable. Ooh, so we can actually get different sizes of cable. 30 centimeters would be more than enough. That's way too much, actually. That's very sad. They don't have a shorter thing than 30 centimeters. It just seems way overkill, This one is much more smaller, That would be. This seems more professional built in some sense. Although I'm not sure if it can fit. Does seem a little longer than. Well, anyway. Just 30 centimeters. That's just too long. Oh my, it's hard. I think I'm going to open the door again. Oh, it's just. Let's try travel. I'll just get some water. There's not really any wind, so even if I'm opening the door, it doesn't really. Uh-oh, has that stopped? I guess it has stopped. Ah. Oh, yeah. Let's get some power, some oxygen to the mobile as well. Oh yeah, another thing that is positive getting these kind of things is they don't make much noise. Of course there's no fan in them. There we go. Like it's cooling on the mobile again. Oh, it does get a little cooled after opening the door. It's nice. Well, yeah, it's hot. So anyway, we found these things here, and I have 2 pages of those. So only need 1 page. Let's close that one and that one. Then we have the cheapest one of them, and we have this one in regards of. But again, it depends. Can it install Windows 2000? I will need to find out about that first. So that's that's the problem, right? If you have to have something that can check if it can actually install it. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe it comes with like 16 gigabytes or something like that. That will be enough to test it out at least. Here we have something that is seemingly 10 centimeters. That seems to be much more, but it's actually 51 millimeter, and that's too much in regards to the plug. Okay, well, how much was these small ones? I can't remember, but they were not. I think they were less than this. So we have a problem here. This wouldn't fit, well, you could if you, that's like this thing here. If you could actually cut the print, it doesn't seem to be used anyway. So if you could cut the print at that specific place, then it would be, possible to use it. It does seem to have the holes. 2.6 centimeters, right? So here we go, 26 millimeters. Yeah. So 26 millimeters. That would be from here to here. So it has a good amount of extra, which is probably not used. And it does actually have like these lines. So it's maybe it's possible to. Maybe it's possible to flake it off or something like that, but we'll see. We have 22.6. We have 26 millimeters. Again, I have a capacitive 128 to 512 gigabytes again. And we have a 256. There's not many options. So, oh, we have a benchmark score. Looks pretty good overall. But anyway, that is to be expected. 256, 400 kronos. Pretty good results overall. That's to be expected. We have all of those. So, okay, so that's pretty much, I guess, solid. I guess I need to find a unit and order it at some point. This one has 4GF, 2GR, Celeron. I don't know. It's probably not that version. Dell Thin Client. No. Dell Thin Client. NO 3D Intel Dual Core. We'll see. I have 4 of those. 3030 Thin Client Intel N807, 1.58 gigahertz. 4 gigabytes, 16 gigabyte SSD. Now if you want 4 of them, that's pretty much overkill. 12 volts. There you go. Yeah, we can close that down. No, Nope. Dell was N03D 3030 Thin Client. I have 16 gigabyte and 4 gigabyte of RAM. Okay. I have 32 gigabyte of flash. Well, that would be hard drive. No adapter. Well, that's kind of a problem. I would need something to connect it. I guess there's difference in regards to these screen things. Not sure what's up with that, but I guess I'll figure something out. 12 volts, 2.85 amps. Some details. I think that will be the thing to try out. Oh, here we have some wireless. We don't want that. Seems to be 2 wireless. Or at least 2 antennas. Boom, boom. Okay. Oh, it's hot. Thin client, blah 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 blah. 200 kronos. That's not that expensive. 200. You can get them pretty, it's pretty cheap, 300, compared to the other one. You get more speed. Client, okay, let's try this one. And that one, that's a lot more expensive. Well, getting home. Yeah, I don't know, I guess that's the difference between this screen thing. Well, I should be able to run 2 screens. I guess I need an adapter for these things. Somehow, yeah. So, after finishing this, in regards to the screen, I think we can get down to a 10 watts, around 10 watts. That would be pretty good. Pretty cool. What do I have here? eBay PC service, eBay, whatever. Have the same plugs. I don't know, in regards to DMI plugs, whatever. What's that called? Screen, DMI types. Or is it called something else? HDMI? Oh, maybe. No, it's not HDMI because that's. I can't remember what the plug are called. No. Let's see here if we can find the website again. Let's see if we can find. It's called DVI. So one DVI and one DVI-D. So one DVI-I, one DVI-D. Again, what's the difference? I have no idea. Question is, can I run two screens at the same time? That would be. I would think that would be possible, but. Let's see here. Okay, one of them only delivers in a digital signal, and the other both digital and analog, apparently. Okay. So I guess that depends in regards to what the screen can be used for, I guess. Well, that's interesting. So. I guess at the moment those two screens I have can only do analog from but they're running from digital to analog at the moment, so I'm not sure how that's going to go, but I don't know, figure out something. So one TVI and one TVI, okay, yeah, well, if I get the new screen, that should be digital at least. And then the question is, can it do two screens? And I can test that out. If it can do two screens, that could be pretty cool. Okay, let's see here. TVI-D single link, TVI-D dual link. Well, that doesn't seem to be much of a. There's all these different standards, you know. Then we have something in regards to DVI single link, DVI dual link, DVI-A, DVI single link, and DVI-D. They don't have. I don't understand this because the standard. Maybe that's just. Oh well, I'll figure it out. I guess maybe there's something better than what I found, you know. These always get to, you know, one step. But again, can it run Windows 2000? Then we have a whole new one, actually. The N03D 3030 Intel N807 1.58 GHz dual core. 16 GB SSD and 4 GB DDR-RAM. And it sounds pretty good. It sounds pretty perfect for the Windows 2000. It seems to be totally new. 600 kronos. It doesn't need to be new, of course. It looks pretty good. Breaking this seal, installing, copying, and or using the software indicates your acceptance of the terms of whatever. Nonsense. That's 600 kronos. And 16 GB, that's more than enough to test it out at least. I don't know why it's still this weird version. There's some weirdness in regard to the version numbers apparently. So that actually looks pretty good and it's totally new apparently, it seems. Fair, no HDD. You can get them very cheap. So boom 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 boom. That's just bigger. 30. Well, again, it'll take me a little time to sort all of the things out. In regard to screen and all that would be interesting to get the cables for these kinds of, and for the also that should be a minor thing. Here we have one. They open it up, and here we have the MSATA, the wireless LAN, the RAM to the left. Yeah, it's pretty simple, you know. It's not really much to the CPU in the middle with the cooler, huge cooling device. That's pretty much of the device really is the cooler. And then just a little spot for the MSATA and the wireless LAN. Now, of course, we don't need the wireless LAN. And on the other side, you have the RAM. There's just a little bit of room for that as well. This is interesting. Very small unit. Oh, very interesting. Yep. It's also pretty cheap, you know. Less than 100 kronor sold. I have the 12 volts. Yeah. What do we have here? Well, I guess, you know, I could try this, and if it doesn't work, I can always jump down to the second choice or look further into things. 12 volts, 2.5 amps in regards to input. So it can, you know, with 12 times 2.5, which is what, 20 for this, 30 watts in total. But it shouldn't ever get up on that level, but it's possible for it for, you know, 30 watts. I guess if I connect things to the USB ports, and you know, we'll take some energy from that. We'll see. I think that actually might be a pretty perfect. Have nearly the same, just from another firm. Let's have a look at that. Well, it has the same. It's nearly the same. Do I have a front look of it? It has 2 USB in the front and 2 in the back, and the speaker and a, you know, in and out pretty much of jack and all that. So it seems to be pretty much the same. Don't have any pictures of the inside. The difference is that you only have one, I think, in the front of the other unit. You have two USB in the front. 2 front and back. You still have this weird thing in regards to these plugs. These. Okay. I can't see if it's 12 volts. That's kind of a thing that if it's 12 volts, it's okay. If it's not, it's kind of a problem. No power supply included, but could you tell us what kind of, you know, the processor is 1.83 gigahertz, so a little, I don't know if it's a double actually, or if it's just one single. Of course, the other one I think is a double CPU. Not that it matters much. It should be more than more than able to. Anyway, let's see here. And power supply. Let's see if we can find the power supply for it. Let's see if it's 12 volts. Power supply. We have a power supply here, I think. Let's see what we have. No. Something in regards to this. Is that the power supply for it? So what does it say on it? NEC, AC, whatever, but what does it say? Can't see the output. Can see the input, but the output is just scrambled. Yeah, that's not good. That doesn't help much. Let's try another one. Oh, that's sold. Yeah, but could we get some details anyway? No power supply included. No, okay. Well, I guess we can search on the eBay and see if we can find some kind of. This is the. Well, they say this is the last one. Apparently, there's not that many. It's only one on eBay, it seems. So, and no power supply included. Kind of doesn't help me. Oh, maybe there's some details here. We can see. Let's see here. Nope, serial and all that. Why don't they have some kind of? Oh, come on. Nope. Not going to be helpful. Okay. Oh, let's see here. We can maybe find a little. Okay, specs. Let's see what we can find. So, if we can get that up running Windows 2000, right, and the screen and everything, then I'm pretty much, ready and set. I think that's a screen here. No, that's another model. A power supply. The US 320, but that's still not it. Client terminals. I guess it's hard when they are old, to get information. Well, here we have some. Let's push that. Let's see if we can. So you have to look around, to find what you're looking for. Well, that's some PDF here, so maybe that's a help file. Let's see. Okay, let's see here what we have. EU declaration, blah 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 blah. And blah 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 blah. That was nothing in that for help. Here we have SSD client, no PSU. Well, this doesn't really help me. If we can't get to know what. Apparently it can't be that popular or not sold that many if you can't even find information on it. Thin client, no. Thin client terminals, 300 pictures. Let's see. Defined. Okay, we have we have the eBay thing, but that's probably the same. Then we have Parky Towers. Oh no, that's not it. Here we have something. That's eBay again. That's the same. Source. Here we have something. pickclick.co.uk. Let's try that. That's like an auction on something. Is that the one? Oh, here we have the NESC Intel, so that's something in regards. Let's see what it is. See if we have the power supply. No, the thing is ended. Yeah, okay. No power supply included. Yeah, I understand, but at least you could have given the information on it. Yeah, okay. And here we have, oh, we have some Amazon. Maybe Amazon can tell me some details. No, nope. Oh, some really of these small cards. Dual band wireless small card, I guess. Doop-a-doop-a-doop-a-doo. Where's that 340? How hard can it be to find some information here? NEC, there's something here, but that's again eBay. That's not going to help me much. Nope. Oh, I guess it's pretty much no good if I can't get the information on it, I would think that the company themselves had something, but we can push it and see what it throws me. So actually looks pretty good, but I guess it's, let's see here. Oh, this is actually also 12 volts and 2 amps, so that's nice. It doesn't have much, but what does it actually have? I have some USB, you have an Energy Star, you have an Atom apparently inside. But 16 gigabytes, 2 gigabyte. Plus, there's 12 volts apparently. Let's see what we can figure out about that. I guess it might be a newer unit. I think he actually talked about it on his website. Where is that? Okay, let's see here. Okay, genuine Intel CPU, blah 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 blah. Well, I'm still pretty hooked on the other one here, so, but anyway, let's see what this is. Yeah, that's the 340 thin, that's from 2017. That's a pretty new model. Although it does only seem to have 2 gigabyte of RAM, so. 3 USB ports. It says supply full 5 volts, but the other one I had was 12 volts, so I don't know. Maybe you can run on both. It does seem to have 4 USB units, but I don't know what. And then 2 of the newer ports for screens, and it looks like it's a pretty idle for running 5 watts, so that's also very low in power. And it doesn't seem to have much in regards to opening it up, So I don't know how much you actually can do with it. Space for added ones. The 340 is very small and compact, and as a result there is negligible internal space for added ones, other than the socket provided for the M2 wireless module. The label on the 3040, as well as identifying it as a 3040, also says reg model N10D. I assume the N10D name is the regulatory model, which explicitly identifies the hardware that has undergone various EMC, recycling, and other certifications tests The 3040 moniker is the marketing name, which could change depending on what software installed and the market it is being sold into. Okay. Yeah, my example was manufactured in October 2019. Okay. Well, it's a quad core, which is too much, pretty much. Oh my god, it doesn't really do me good in regards of the. But I guess you can't put more RAM into it. That's kind of sad, you know. Oh, okay. So that's the 340. And what's the one I was looking at? What was that? Oh, that was the 3030. Oh yeah. Which actually does have a higher gigahertz. It has 2 CPUs instead of 4, so that is better in regards to Windows 2000. And you can have the 4 gigabytes, so that's also better. So overall, that seems to be still be the better choice. Some other models, like 3 watts is nearly nothing. You know, just both of them seems to do pretty good in regards to that level. So I wonder what else there is that can do low. I think you're probably on the low end already. Yep. Seems all the others are doing. Well, this one does 4 watts. Newer model. What does that have? Flash and RAM 2 gigabyte. Intel Atom dual core 133 gigahertz. Intel HD graphics. That should be okay, hopefully. But it has 12 volts, that's good, and running 4 watts, so that's the same pretty much. So that actually sounds pretty good as well. Looks like there are more. There's 2 sockets of mini MSATA. I do wonder if you could actually put 2 hard drives into it, and it doesn't seem to have the problem in regards of the space. So that could be an option as well. Looks pretty good. Pretty much have the same things. Running Intel 130. Well, I guess the CPU is a little slower than the other one. You have the other one that's 158 gigahertz. This one is only 153. Well, there's a difference in regards to the CPU as well. So, but they are a double as well on this one. So this device could be pretty good as well. You know. Might not be much difference overall with these 2. So we have another option, it seems. But in this unit you just have a lot more space for, and it seems like you actually have place for 2. I'm not entirely sure how they, but there's just right next by each other, so I'm not sure how that works out. It does seem like one is higher up than the other, so it seems like you can fix one and then fix one more on top of it. It's interesting design, I guess. You have 1 RAM, and you have the CPU thing. You have a weird sort of battery thing. I'm not sure how you actually change the battery on that, but design, it looks a little better designed than the other one. If you can actually put 2 hard drives into it, that's pretty nice. So RAM, let's see, is a conventional DDR SD plugged into a socket fitted on the top of the board. The fitted 204 pin SUDIM was a 2 GB A plus technology part, blah 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 blah, with the A plus side described as a DDR 1333 MHz, PC3 10600 SUDIM, and blah blah blah, lots of, you know. So both types are supported in regards of. I also tried out a 2 GB PC 3L part, blah blah blah, from Treason that works, so both types are supported. I guess there's more different, you know, different RAM blocks or whatever. The standard flash memory is not replaceable. It's a SanDisk eMMC device soldered to the rear of the circuit board. More on that below. However, there's a separate MSATA socket that can be used to add a larger SSD, should you so desire. So how is that going to work in regards to the two? Mini PCIe MSATA. There are two similar sockets just below the SODIMM socket. The white socket in the photo, the sockets closer to the front panel, is raised, and whatever is plugged in there will pass over the top of anything fitted to the other socket. Pairing at the board, I can see that the upper socket is labeled MSATA, whilst the lower one is labeled Min PCIe. Okay, so you can, I guess, still only plug one SSD in it. I don't know, in regards of the what would you use the PCI? I fitted a fairly anonymous 32 GB MSATA SSD in the MSATA socket, and it was duly found and mounted when I booted TinyCore 90 on the unit. Although there is a push button on the board next to the buzzer, which is labeled JBAT1. I assume that this clears the CMOS, but I find it odd that this push button is located diametrical opposite the point where the battery is connected to the board. This thin client turned out to be fitted with eMMC flash memory. eMMC stands for Embedded Multimedia Card, and is the type of flash memory that is embedded in most all mobile phones. This type of memory is slower and cheaper than conventional SSDs. I assume that the cheaper aspects was one of the reasons that the TSIG opted to use it in this particular thin client. This is the first example I've found where the technology has been used in thin client. Looking at the back at the 4448C, you can just spot the chip through one of the holes in the chassis. The device fitted to my example is a SanDisk SDIN 7DP2 line 4G. Google found me mentioning of one off price for it of just over $5, while another supplier has it marked as obsolete. For your information, with Linux, the eMMC device does not fall into the normal SDX mass storage numbering scheme. Looking in the DMSG output, you'll find MMC BLK 0, MMC 0, 0001, SM, 3.69 gigabyte. Okay, so they put that in. I don't know if you can go around that if you install something. But that's of course a little sad that. So I guess you can still only put one hard drive into this device, and that it has this thing attached to it that I don't know if you can do really much about. If you can install something else on that, little 3 point whatever gigabyte storage unit, I guess Windows 2000 could still be put on it. But I guess you could put the page file on something else, on the other drive, I guess. At least you wouldn't fill it up. I think the Windows 2000 had a page file, didn't it? I think it had. Oh well. Well, I guess it's still an option, but that would be an option to try out and to see how and whatever that thing does. And you could actually test that unit with the other unit. Both of them are very low consumption. Seems to actually be some of the most low consumption units there is, it seems. Yeah, there's something with question mark. I guess he couldn't figure out how many watts it used. Why wouldn't he write how much the unit actually uses? Oh well. Let's see here, 9 watts, 6 watts, 5 watts. This one with 5 watts here was 1 gigahertz. Let's see, AMD thing, a little older model as well, although that's okay. Seems to be some of the same things that was in it. But around 5 watts. Idle 3 watts, and well, what did we have on the other one? We had around, we had less. We had 3, 5 watts running, although he says 3 watts in this. I guess it's approximate. So we have these two running very low. That's I think that would be the 2 options to try out. So it's a lot less than the other device, that's for sure, in regards of 12 to 15 watts down to around 3 watts. It's a good amount of difference. It's over 10 watts of difference. That's a good amount. And if it's even faster, at least it has processors that should be faster. Oh, that was the little small one. We had one. I don't know about that. I only have 2 gigabyte of RAM, but of course, the technology is probably too new to install Windows 2000. And you can't upgrade that. So yeah, we'll back to the 3030 here, 3290 version. Yeah, that would be interesting. That one. And maybe that one would also be interesting to try out. It's pretty much the same. You can upgrade the RAM. Seems to have the same Intel HD graphic. Has a different processor. 4 watts running. It has this weird thing in regards of the memory storage. So, but it's a lot easier to fix a long hard drive. Anyway, a little further into it, in the theory section at least, then the practice section will be different. Well, yeah, in regards of computer screens, we had the, I don't know if I lost the information on it. Yeah, of course I lost some information here. Okay, we have one of them. Nope. No, we don't. Okay, we'll need to copy that and get into that again. I wrote it all down, but I lost the information, of course. Typically. Apparently I wasn't connected to the FTP and all that. But if you go to the Asus MB16A, you can get down to 3.64 watts. That's pretty efficient overall. And we have 3. Yep, let's just copy that over to the file. All my data collected. Now we have another screen that is the same size as I have here, but that's really too big. But you can save a good amount as well. go. Let's put that in, and 3.64 watts. Okay, Asus MB16A. That's a pretty good amount. So if you have like 3-4 watts on one unit and 3-4 watts on the other unit, that's less than 10 watts in total for running a computer. That's pretty good. I think that's pretty good. Let's see if we can find the other screen I looked at. That looked pretty good. Let's see if we can take this off. And this off. And that one. And it should come up. Yep. It's a Dell S2721HO. It does 10.8, 18 watts, but it's also a lot bigger screen than the other one that does 3.64. So that's another option, and actually it's the same price. But yeah, might be a little too big of a screen. Let's see here, what do I find? Here we go. 10 watts, and the screen size we have 27 inches. So let's just copy this one, keep that there, and there we go. Yeah, so all in all, we can get to a very low wattage if we choose the right things here. Go and save. Great. There, of course, I need to have Windows 2000 Professional with Service Pack 4, which should make it easier to install the things, which probably will make some issues overall. Usually get into issues. So yeah, if we can set it up and get it going, that would be awesome. That's pretty much a saving 100 watts, over 100 watts, and if we can still use the computer and all that, yeah, well, that's pretty good. Oh yeah, oh maybe, oh no, that's the 3210, so that's not the same model. They don't even say what they have in regards of. Nope. It's a quad processor in this unit, but I guess the other unit is too old for them to apparently has anything on it. Anyway, let's just close it down. We'll just not care about it then. Can't even find information. But who knows, it might actually have been a pretty good unit, this one. 1.83 gigahertz Intel Celeron. N9 29, 2 gigabytes. Yeah. Well, there wasn't anything on YouTube, wasn't there? No, I don't think so. Let's try. Wow, it's a hot day today, and I guess it continues maybe tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, I had this insanity of needing to write it twice. Need to fix a new browser, I guess. Let's see. Nope, not a single thing on this device. Maybe I should take DuckDuckGo and okay. DuckDuckGo, let's see here. Well, still it takes the get a lot of Japanese apparently, but well, no, that's eBay. Well, that's the UK, but it's probably the same thing. Yeah, it's the same, but no PSU. Again, it's not helpful at all. So I don't know how much it uses or how much it's. Well, I guess it's just better to just forget about it. Just annoying when you can't find information about something. Kind of. I'll have. Maybe this is the one. Let's see here. Japanese PDF. Let's see if there's something there. Take some time. Oh, it's hard. Takes a lot of time, apparently. We have some more information, but Japan. And we have some more. Yeah, it's just Japanese. I guess it must be a Japanese company. It's just Japanese all the way around. Oh, here we go with some information. Japanese. Yeah, that's. Yeah, not going to be able to read that. Here we have some English letters or Latin letters, but it's small. It's in regards of the wireless. It's not anything in regards of. Some more. Nope. Not helpful. Not helpful. Okay, well. Yeah, I guess. Isn't there a way to actually ask the seller? Contact seller. Okay, let's try to see if we can. Oh, am I not connected? I thought I was connected already in regards to things. Let's just try the Facebook account, I guess. Probably should work. Pick your secret questions. Oh, give me a break. Just give me in. Yeah, continue with Facebook. Contact seller. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Send message. Yep. Okay. Well, we sent the seller a message, but yeah. They could have provided more information, really, But apparently, again, it's a unit that doesn't seem to be that popular. No one has really done much, it seems, with it. And nothing in regards to how much it uses. It has 1.83 gigahertz, so it's faster, I guess, in those levels than some of the other units. But, what did I have here? Let's see, there was 1.8. Here we have 1.58, but it's a dual, and this one is 1.33, but it's still a dual. So I don't know if the other one was a dual or a single. the name. Or we have 1.83 gigahertz Celeron. I don't know if that's the name. Let's see. Dual CPU. Let's see if it says anything. It probably is a dual. I don't know. Incredible hard to find anything apparently about it. Problem, of course, is if they don't run Windows 2000, it will be a waste of resources. The Intel Celeron N2930 is a powerful, efficient quad core. Okay, it's a quad core. That's at least a good amount. But again, so it has 4 threads in total, interestingly enough. Okay. But that won't really be able to, at least not on Windows 2000 Professional, it won't be able to be used, so. Oh well. Let's see here. Yeah, that's like 3 watts. Just, do we have any one of these? NAC. Just odd that I can't find more information on it. We have one NAC in regards of his lineup of things, and yeah, that's all. And start page. See. Dun, dun, dun. We actually have something here, but it seems like I have been in on it, but that's like, that has the US 310. Okay, let's open up and see what it says. At least on the search thing, it does seem to have it, and that's from their website. So is that showing the right version here, or another version? It says the US 320. That's not the US 310. I guess maybe one. Let's see here. Search if it's. It doesn't have the. How does the search engine find the? Clearly, the search engine does have something in regards to the US on that website, but it doesn't find it anymore. At least. Let me search this term and see if we can find anything. On the NEC. Okay, 10 client. Oh, we have something on the. Okay, let's try to open that up and open that up and open that up. Okay, let's see. Okay, desktop thing. Oh, I found it. I found it. Okay. Well, I found at least so far. It seems. It's at least the name. Waiting. Page can't be found. Oh, great. Oh, that's apparently a PDF for it. Requested document was not found on this server. Sorry. Document your work. Okay. Well, thanks a lot for nothing. What about old web page? Swap websites. Let's see if we can find it through that. I don't think they have the PDF, but let's take it. Let's just have a try. It's slow. And it's using 109 watts, and that's only the computer. 109 watts. And then you have the screens, that's 30 watts more. Over 30 watts more, so that's 140 watts. Okay, let's see here. We have the Wayback Machine. Let's search that's true. Something is loading at least. Let's see if we can find an old website. Come on. No. Okie dokie. What about this one? Let's try this one. Put that in. That's wrong. Okay, I'm going to push this. Yeah, I guess it's a little hard to get the information when everything is just deleted, right? It's just giving me another language that you can't get the information and blah 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 blah. I guess we can maybe get the newest edition. Let's try that. Maybe not. Let's try this one and it's hard. We have a 2015. Let's try this one. Yeah, they have this day of one. Okay, let's push that and see. Nope. No gold. No gold. So that's pretty much nearly impossible apparently to get information about that unit. Even from their own mains website. Apparently they just remove the information on the unit. The only unit they really have is in regards to the 320 apparently. Which apparently in 2018 had something in regard. Maybe I could actually try this address in the old machine. No, of course I closed the old machine down on the page. Let's try to see if we can maybe fix that. Oh, it's so slow. I really need to close a lot of these tabs and go through them. So the computer can become a lot quicker. Come on. Browse history. See if it comes up with something. Okay, let's move back to 2016. It seems to be the time when they had something about it. And push it, and let's see. Okay, do we have anything? Yeah, we actually have the 310. instead of 320. Oh. Okay, let's see what we have. It's an Intel Celeron quad-core. Yeah, we already know that. Memory 2GB of RAM, 16 memory. Hard disk none. Well, it has the flash memory. Single/dual in regards of interface. Have one USB 3 port, but it doesn't. It has a hardware decoder in regards of H.264. So I guess that's nice in regards of video playing, but it doesn't say anything in regards of the charging device. There's one link here that probably doesn't work much. So how in the world couldn't you fix the information for the, how many voltage and all that? I got the screens fixed, and I need to look into there's apparently different versions of these MB16A screens from Asus, and they seem to be pretty expensive as well compared to if you can do really low wattage, I guess that's the way to go. You could have 2 screens maybe of those, and still be pretty good in regards of. Let's see here, Asus MB16AC. Again, what's the difference, right? It's kind of a weird screen that it's like, so it's not standing like it's standing, like it doesn't. I don't know if that's a good thing. How it's, maybe you can. Well, I guess I can see a little of it in regards of. There must be someone that has been speaking about the screen, now that it's so power thing, let's see here. Takes a little time for it to search. There we go. So here we have the Asus Zen screen, apparently, MB16A. And again, you have these different MB16AMT and whatever and all that, and I have no idea what the difference is. Just a nice portable display. Portable? What do we mean about portable? Is you can take it with you easily or whatever. Best portable USB-C monitor. That's 4 years ago, and apparently they're still pretty expensive. So, but apparently they have this Asus Zen screen, I guess. So, I guess if I put that in, it might get some more details, maybe a little. Let's see, last month videos. Asus Zen Screen Go MB16A WP charging. Hopefully it's not a wireless screen or something like that. So 10 days ago, OLED H, AH, again different things, A whatever, best portable. I don't care about it being portable, I just need to I need the lowest wattage. Top 5 portable monitors. I didn't go with all these portable monitors apparently. That's not the reason why I wanted, you know. Or maybe it's that's the sin screen. No, it should be the right. Well, last yes. Okay. There's a little more information. Here we have an AACE version, you know. Like, here we have a new Asus SynScreen 16 tommer portable monitor MB16A. So apparently that can't do much good, because apparently at least according to the results, it's not really. That's the 16. Okay. No. Yeah. Okay. The 16. Okay. Yeah. But yeah. Okay. So how's that new? MA whatever. HA or AAH and AWP. You know. What's the difference between all these? No idea. AWP kickstand. Okay. So apparently this screen is coming in a lot of weird. That's a Kit Kat video apparently, with two kittens meeting up apparently. Yeah, whatever.
Hey guys, for those who have complicated workflows when doing productivity work,
Maybe that's why it's expensive, because you can draw on it or something like that. I don't know. Okay, well, whatever. Okay, I guess that might be a problem if it can't flip the screen like standard screen. Well, so apparently it's a portable screen as well, but Well, maybe if you could hang it on a wall or something like that, but. I don't know. Apparently there's battery in it. Doesn't sound good. Batteries usually die. I already looked at that right. Apparently there's a battery inside of it. It's just weird that it's actually the most efficient, and sadly it's...
Hey guys, what's up? Today's video.
So it's a portable, apparently it's a portable screen.
We are discussing.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I guess I can charge it via the USB, but it's not. I don't know about that. I thought it was just a standard screen, but apparently not. Anyway, I think we're probably had enough for looking into this thing. And, well, it's pretty hot. I should get to... Well, take a break. Anyway, may Yehovah be with you, and Yeshua, most precious pearl, and the spirit of truth be in us all. Amen. Have a good one.